Hi, this is Sharon Massey at Stamp Side by Side. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and welcome to this little card class. I just wanted to show you this cute little Z fold. I can hardly wait to send it to one of my grandchildren. It's really easy to make, and so I'm going to go over it with you and tell you what you need. And it's really cute because it just opens like this and then reveals the image in there. So I'm going to set that aside so I can bring in what you're going to need. You're going to need one piece of Whisper White, and this Whisper White is cut at 5.5 by 8.5. You're going to need an olive green square that's cut at 3.25 by 3.25, and then two pieces of white Whisper White cardstock cut at 3 by 3. So those are the pieces you're going to need. When you're doing this, you need to go on and pre-stamp your piece of paper that measures the 5.5 by 8.5. The reason is that if you try stamping your background after you've done your score lines, then those score lines are really not going to give you an even image. It'll not be good. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to score it in half at 4.25. So you're just scoring this in half. Be sure that you've got it up against the stops and that you're as close as you can, straight down, straight back, and then just pull it over to 2 1/8 and score again. Try to make sure you're really straight, so down and then back. So once you've done that, you're ready to fold. Now this is going to be kind of counterintuitive because you're going to fold with your design on the inside. And then what you'll do is you'll grab this corner and you will fold it back, making sure to match up your corners and then just kind of coming down and burnishing it. So now you've got the card base that you're going to be using. So we're going to set that aside for a minute and bring in something else. The next step will be to bring your 3.25 by 3.25 cardstock. And what I'm going to do, push this up here, I'm going to take it and then I'm going to take one of the great framelits from the Tropical Chic, and I'm going to try to line this up so there's a fairly even border around it. And sometimes I just have to mash it around a little bit, scooch it here, scooch it there before it was really, so maybe about like that. And that's off a little bit still. So let's move it over just a tad. So you're going to run it through. Now because this is a little more detailed, I like to run mine through twice. I like to go through it and then I like to come right back. So we're now just going to take that off of the big shot and set it aside. And when I take this off, I'm going to bring in a piece of foam right here, and I'm just going to slide this piece onto the foam. Now, one of the things I want to do is check and see if I got pretty good cuts, and I think I did. So I'm going to lay it on that foam piece, remove these plates and get them out of the way. And then I'm going to take the die brush and just do like this to do two things. Knock those loose pieces out, but also, see, they just fall right out. Also to make sure that this is clean. So you can see there's still some green in there. So I'm just going to do like this because you don't want to try to cut it the next time and have little pieces in it or it will not cut well. So here's our piece. We've got just one little, there we go. So I'm going to set this aside. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a silicone mat and put it down on the surface because I don't want glue on this surface. And we're going to take a piece of the 3 by 3 Whisper White and we're going to glue it onto here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the Whisper White, and I'll probably go off of the edge just a little bit. So because I don't want that glue. And then I may come over here and put just a dab on the flowers. Now, what I'm going to do, or rather leaves, I'm sorry. What I'm going to do is set that down and then try to center this a little bit here. So that should be about it right there. Okay, so this is now ready to go onto the card front with one exception. You need to stamp and color and die cut the giraffe. And I use the animal outing set for that. I've used that a couple of times before. It's just really a fun set. So I'm going to be using obviously the giraffe image, but also Wild About You. So those are the two images that are coming from the animal outing. So I went on and colored him. I just used the inks and a blender pen. And then I'm going to put him in here, and I just have to kind of decide where I want him. And I think what I'm going to do is kind of stick him right here. And I've already got a little glue. Now I've got some glue here, and I will later come back with my glue eraser and get all of that glue out. I just didn't bring it, so I don't have it right here with me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it on here. So the one thing to make sure of is that when you're putting the glue down, put it down only on this one side. Otherwise, you're going to glue your cards shut. So I'm going to bring that in, put some glue, but I don't want to go over halfway. And maybe that's about it right there. So that takes care of that part. Now we need to do the inside image. So what we're going to do with that is we will take it and we're going to put it right here. So that's where it's going to go, but first we're going to stamp it. So I'm going to be using Early Espresso, and again the sentiment is from the animal outing. And I'm just going to get some ink and then come in here, and I'm going to go a little bit to the right because I'm going to put another giraffe in there, I think. So we'll put that there, and there you go, Wild About You. So now that we have got that stamped, what we're going to do is go on and put it on the inside of the Z-fold. The best way to do this is to take your card and to line it up in here. Whoops, got the wrong card. Already done that one. So get it and do this and put it on here and line it up. But you're going to be doing it backwards. So I almost did it wrong. So you line that up, making sure that's about as even as you can get it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put your glue here. Get that back in place. Sometimes. Okay, and then you just bring this over like this. And that should make sure that when you open it, that is behind there, your image is behind it. And then all you have to do is cut out another giraffe and paste it in as we did here, glue it in. And that's how simple it is to make this card. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Have fun doing it. Have a lovely night. If you would like the dimensions, please go to www.stampsidebyside.com and I'll have the dimensions for you. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.